The phone was rotated. What are you talking about? I'm not here. I'm not here, by the way. Boy, am I literally that out of shape? Been literally running around like a chicken with my head cut off here, trying to set all this garbage up. And I need my iPad. Because this is part of, obviously now I'm doing most of my, not most, I'm doing all of my lives with my phone. So, let's see. I'm actually very slightly out of breath. All right. All right. So, obviously you can see from the thumbnail, there's like, yeah, stuff with this DR10, but in a good way. So, good morning, everybody. Whoever's here, welcome to this episode of my thing is not like set up right. What the heck is going on here? I'm just not prepared. Today is obviously Mother's Day, so if you haven't done anything concerning that, get off of this and go do what's more important. If you have, then stay right where you are. Welcome to this episode of COVID and Coffee. This is now going to become a series with this team of... Got my own voice here. It's going to become a series with the team-associated DR10. Now, in the video so I'm actually upstairs trying to create a video because what happens for me is yesterday was totally blown. So to try to stay on top and try to stay relevant, you guys all know that when you have a blown out day, what the heck do you do? So there really wasn't much to do with the DR10. We've got some issues, but I'm trying to get like people to understand, like a few people, granted, it's totally, your prerogative, whatever it's called, to maybe not like the DR10, maybe because of potentially what you're seeing, but you need to walk away from that. You need to realize that, yes, you're buying, number one, man, you're buying the first out of the box, ready to run, not ready to race, team-associated DR10. Now, I have never been in that position of creating a drag anything, and Drag Bug was my first, I guess, kind of haphazardly dive into it, which is actually still working out pretty good. And Drag Bug is going to be competition for the DR10, and then obviously we've got a dragster that we're building now. But you need to walk away from, I feel, the attitude of seeing too many problems, because even while I'm coming across issues, Earl Moorhead is coming across issues where Earl is actually, if you want to talk about somebody that knows already this drag race scene, not only in just the automotive industry, but translating it over into the RC scene, Earl has already been there, done that. So he is definitely a good gauge and a good person to, bounce things off of and ask questions. And my process is going to basically be learning And also maybe asking questions and talking to people and saying, hey, but nobody's here. So I could tell somebody all day how my car is reacting, but because that person technically can't see it for themselves, it's kind of like trying to diagnose something that's wrong with your car over the phone. Somebody will call up and they'll be like, yeah, I got this clicking sound in my car. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, can you elaborate a little bit more? And sometimes the elaboration, it doesn't matter the verbiage that you use, sometimes just doesn't translate out to the actual real feel. So like, let's say if Earl came over my house, he grabbed a hold of my DR10 and gave it some, full triggers or full pulse, gave it some trigger shots. He might like that potentially know, okay, well, I know I got to do this. I know you should do that. But that's because he's been there, done that. Now, for me, this is all new. So possibly my series will be more along that lines of, I don't know, Earl writes the book, Drag Racing for Dummies, and I'm reading the book. So my experience is basically going to be just literally hands-on, trying stuff out, figuring it out. Same thing with Earl Moorhead. All of his stuff is, he's still testing, tuning. There's a lot more involved, and this is going to be just known anywhere. There's a heck of a lot more involved, I feel, when you already have a higher traction like situation, because the car reacts by the way, or should react by the way it's gripping the ground, by even, believe it or not, even heat. The temperature of the day plays a difference. The temperature of that pavement plays a difference, how well your tires are going to hook up. And that's why, like with real racing, there are so many different things that are changed to prepare for the track conditions of that day. So while this is a no prep, you still have to, you're not taking this thing out of the box, then just full triggering, and that's why it's got a gyro. And my gyro's off, and I have zero interest in ever having a gyro. My whatever it is, my Habao EPX, that does have a gyro. I don't even know if that's where it probably is. All I can say is right now, you'll see in the video. I did it this morning. I was up early this morning, like 5:30 in the morning, like usual. I was a little slow. I think I actually got out of bed at like 6 or 6:15 or something around there. Had my coffee, which I don't even know where it is right now. And I basically went outside. So as soon as the sun crested over the trees and started hitting that pavement, I mean, it was only like 44 degrees out when I was outside this morning. So number one, that potentially could play a part in the traction of this vehicle. Like, it's not going to get good hits on that surface because right away it's already not warm enough. But I still did it anyway. But here's the nutty part, right? From my memory, I've got shims all on now one side of my car. So on the rear end, again, you'll see it in the video, I got like a 3/4 shim pack. And it's wrong. That's wrong. That's not how it should be. So now that I've got that 3/4 shim pack, now my tire on my right-hand side is now screwed up. Not permanently, but it's not wearing properly because the right side is like, it's like listing to that left side so much now, it's now affecting the front end of my car. So it's like, yeah, man, there's just so much involved with the tuning. You've got to like not change too many things. And I feel like I almost want to scrap everything that I did and start over and figure out, okay. Because I'm like, not pulling my hair out yet. I still got hair. I'm not pulling it out yet, and that won't happen for a while, but initially out of the box, totally hooking right. Realized, okay, got to adjust the rear end here somehow, because I feel as though, and this was all in my head, I feel as though I've got to give that side some help. And we were able to take shims out, put shims in, and cause the vehicle to then go straight. And then I'm like, okay, now we're going straight. We're on 3S. I'm not even touching 2S. If anything, once I get this car tuned for 3S, I'm just going to keep going forward. So it's not just like everybody. I mean, there's going to hopefully be breakage. I mean, I said, I hope I can get this thing to the point to where I'm breaking things, because now if I'm breaking things, that means that you got to break the right things. But that means maybe I am breaking the right things. So like I was saying, I want to see snapped axles. I want to see twisted out hubs, and it's not going to happen. At least I don't think it will. But you see this right here? This is the whole point of this car. I love, like, the challenge. Like, I mean, like Amped RC, right? His challenge, Amped. It gets me amped. I love being beat down and then just like keep going for more. Like, go ahead, smash me in the face. I'm gonna get back up. And I'm going to love it, because now I'm going to come after you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that feeling. It's like the car's giving me a hard time. And I'm just like, oh, no, you're not. I'm going to kick your butt. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a good feeling. And look at me. Look, I'm pumped right now. And I haven't even looked in chat. So let's look in chat. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this episode of COVID and Coffee. I think episode 25. I think that's what I put down. We're talking about the DR10. I keep wanting to call it the DC10. It literally was like right in my brain. My brain said DC, but my mouth corrected it and said DR. And I am dyslexic too, so just very mildly. All right. Well, I want to get, like I said, I just want to get into the comments. So let me fumble with this phone thing here for a second. This is like way like mangled. I feel like I need a Team Associated banner now, just because of like what we're doing. I feel like I want to represent for Team Associated here, just because, or at least maybe some drag race posters. That's what I should do. I should just get some drag race posters. I've actually got in my son's room. There's some drag racing posters that maybe I could like toss up down here or something. So first person in the chat right at 9:53 was Riff Raff. Good morning to you, brother. We got Flying Fortress, Demo RC, James Beeman, Keith. Is it Cerise? Circe? Keith, I don't know how to say your name, guy. I'm like the worst at saying people's names. We got Dylan Davis here. We got Leo Medina. Again, if I've Eat Lead is here. What's going on, Eat Lead? If I miss a comment, like if you're directing something to me, please, for the love of God, just put the @ symbol in RC Guy Garage. That way, at least I've got like a little red box that says, hey, Guy, I'm actually trying to talk to you, because all of you guys I know are here to talk to each other, and not just me. It's the hangout. Ping, what's going on, Guy? Chuck G is here. What is happening, brother? Smokey's RC, Matt's RC, Green Frog RC, Sean's RC Adventure. We're getting a full Sunday house. Jack Brazier, dude, I almost said, are you SHI in me? I don't have my book. Dude, It's going right to the DR. The DR needs some parts, guy. It's getting some parts. I have stuff coming in already. But yes, the DR definitely needs some help. And it only needs help because I'm I feel like I'm pushing it. And also because I'm not skilled in this yet. I have a working knowledge of stuff, just not this form of tuning. This form of tuning is different. I don't even have my notebook. I'll be right back. I gotta find my notebook. You know what I'll do? How about if we do the paradox? Is this a paradox if I do this? People, will your eyes freak out like if I do this? This is what a disaster here already. Come on. It's a disaster. All right. We'll do the paradox. That way you guys can just like stare off into the screen of foreverness. Excuse me. All right. Oh, look at that. How did the thing go down? Nice. All right. We are back. What a mess. Why is this thing all cranked? What's going on here? Welcome to Disaster Garage. I don't know. It's like a disaster here. I don't even know if this is working. You know, I gotta flip this around because if I lose the stream like I typically do, I'll never know. So if I do one of these and switch it. Oh, Asterian, what's going on, guy? All right. But Jack Brazier, dude, already. Holy crap. Thank you, sir. All right, where are we in the chat here? Chuck G. That's right. Smash that, like you say, smash that thumbs up if that's what you're into. Just don't break your device if you're gonna do that. Kurtz RC, good morning to you, brother. You started with Surface because you were tired of tuning your plans? Turning into the packet foam? Well, you know what's funny, dude? Because of when I was into plans, I used to turn my planes into toothpicks. And I literally had one turn into toothpicks. I was full speed on a knife bank. I mean, I was knifing that corner. And my distance judgment was off because I don't know why. So I had like a real just knifed bank, full speed. I mean, that motor was humming. And that was obviously, you know, that was with nitro. I mean, that thing was screaming. I still remember to this day the sound. My son was actually with me. So what an experience for him to see. And the craziness of this, right? So I've got this real just fast knife bank. It's like just humming. I mean, it's like, wah, screaming. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, the obviously sound travels slower than the speed of light, right? So my eyes kept going with where the plane should have been, except what my eyes were following the pile of toothpicks that just I slammed into a tree full speed, and the sound of it hitting didn't hit until it was like the plane was already past. The pieces of toothpicks were already falling. And I think I still followed like in disbelief. Like I couldn't believe what had just happened in front of my eyes. Just a pile of toothpicks in the air. Just oh my God. Strip gears, what's going on, guy? James R. What has happened? What is happening? I figured that's where you would want it. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting uneven tire wear, obviously, because my tuning on the street is it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work to tune it on the street because with high traction, there's a hell of a lot more fine tuning than when you just, because I guess I'm just a thrasher. So when I take an RC out, I'm really not concerned anymore. Like years ago, I used to race, but even my racing on those indoor dirt tracks wasn't like, I wasn't like, you know, fine-tune this and that and shock oils, and I'm using zippy ties and tape and, you know what I mean? I'm like, how can I get this thing to go faster at the cheapest amount of money and piss off the actual, I'm spitting, piss off the actual, like, racer guys? And initially it wasn't to piss them off, but what started happening was they didn't like the fact that my piece of garbage was beating their, like, I don't even know how much money they were paying, but mine was a piece of crap. I mean, we're not talking mine was Radio Shack, but I still at least had good bones. It was the JRX Pro base, you know, fabricable, like, hacked together, you know, piece of thing. JRX 2 and JRX T combination of parts is what it was. Just to kind of keep everything all together. But, you know what? You know what I'm looking at right now? Check this out. I'm going to pop you guys off of this. I literally am just seeing this right now. I'm going to switch it over to the back camera because I think the back camera might be better. So I just glanced my eyes up at so I'm looking at my DR10, right? These are the shocks that are available on the DR10. Now, Habao makes really good stuff. And I just looked up at my JRX, I call it a JRX Pro. I just looked up at my JRX Pro. And now I'm wondering, would those shocks, which are a threaded body shock, would those shocks actually work? Like, I don't know, man. That is a possibility. I know I said I was going to put money into it, but I could still put money into it if it was a good shock, right? Do like a trial test. see what's going on with this DR10, but then, you know, maybe switch out a shock and see what happens. This car is listing to that back so bad right now. To see still shininess on the passenger side rear tire. Now my toe is way off. The chassis looks like it's all bent up, and it's not. We got to go. I feel like I almost have to go back to basics with the shocks on this thing, with the suspension. I don't know what the hell's going on. I shouldn't have to disassemble this thing that much. I mean, this thing like should be able to go straight, right? Oh, maybe it's more of a 2S straight. And then if you want to go 3S, then maybe that's when you're then pushing that realm. Because obviously, like in the real world too, the more power, the more tuning, the more the suspension has to work, the more the body flexes, the more this, the more that, the more type of the better fuel you need. You know what I mean? Like, do I have the wrong fuel for this? Like, I got an 8050C pack in there from Ovonic. I don't know if it's a good battery. It's a good battery for thrashing, but is a good battery for drag racing when you're literally just going, and then that's it? You're literally just going, you're pulling the trigger for literally like, let me see, how many seconds? 1, 2, 3. You're probably pulling the trigger for like 3 seconds, and literally by the time you get to the 4th second, I think you're letting off. Let me think about that for a second. I got to visually see it in my head. So 1, 2, 3. You're probably on the 4th second. You might be letting off on that 4th second, somewhere around there. So what kind of a battery pack would be good for that? Am I screwing myself by, you know, using a Ovonic tank pack, 8,000 milliamp, 50C? Should I get like some kind of like drag race pack? I don't have anything that is a specific battery pack for drag racing. Who knows? Maybe that's what I should do. I just got to jump into the chat real quick again. Kurtz RC. Tilt up? Oh, I wasn't here. I think that's what you're talking about, right? Right. James George. Exactly. Good morning. It's time to rip it. I love it. See how amped you get? You guys just got to buy these. You got to buy one of these DR10s and have a blast. I'm serious. Why not? How about the DR10 purchase challenge? Just go out and buy one. I think right now it's probably going to be a challenge to even get a hold of one of these things. I mean, look at Casey Benson literally called Reckless Hobbies in the opposite side of the damn country. So he's in California. I'm in Massachusetts. He called my LHS because they did have one, but it's gone. So that's crazy. That's the RC Guy Garage Drag Challenge. See if he can even buy a DC10. See, I keep calling it a DC10. See if you can even buy a DR10 before June. Because I think Casey said that he ordered one, but he's got to wait till June to get it. And that's insane. Whoa. How many unopened boxes? What do you mean? What? How many unopened cars do I have? Right now, I have 4 unopened cars, and one of them is old. Like, I mean, it was a damn pre-order, and I'm just not interested in opening it. I don't know. I'm just not a crawler. I'm not a crawler kind of guy. I mean, I think I enjoy it once I get out there, and it might be better, like, if there were other people that would crawl too. Maybe that would make the competition better, but I'm into fast right now. I'm into drag race. Venom, what's going on this morning? How are you? Voodoo Trucking. Oh, you're the one that said that. See, I don't even pay attention to who said what. I'm sorry. Guys, not a basher. Right. I'm not a basher. I'm a crasher. I'm a thrashing crasher. I think I called like, I was jokingly going to change the name to like Thrash and Smash. Welcome to Thrash and Smash RC. Gus's Custom Creations. What is going on? Good morning to you. Jerome Ballimer, what is going on? June on back order till then. Man, that's rough. That's rough. That's not cool at all. Gotta have something to tow. Right. Smokey. Oh. Smokies. That actually is a very good idea. I didn't even think of that. That would be kind of cool. But that means I'd have to make a trailer. How the heck would I do that? That's a good idea, guy. Maybe I'll have to unbox that for it to be the tow vehicle. That'd be actually kind of cool. I don't know if I've got the patience for that, though. All right. So back to this DR10. So like I had already said, as far as like drag questions go and stuff like that, don't even waste your time asking me, because this is all a learning process for me for this particular car. The last associated I had was like 100 years ago. 100 years ago, which is like what? That was that late 80s. Late 80s, like, yeah, late 80s was when I had my Associated. So I've been out of the Associated loop. So even like me trying to order parts is a little bit of a difficulty because I don't know what's what. So I actually do have parts on order. I did a very minor amount of research. Hopefully the research that I did is bringing parts in. So what I did is I got a Hot Racing differential, which is all metal. I got a Robinson Racing idle gear, which is steel, hardened steel, I think it is. And I also did get a anodized hardened Hot Racing idler gear as well. So I'm not sure what I'm going to use like between them. I do want to get like another case, which I don't know how I'm going to figure that out. I got to get another case, which I think is I came up with the case is a B5. So supposedly the case that is in this is a Team Associated B5 case. I don't even know. I just don't know. I mean, I wish I could get like an aluminum case at least. Oh, I feel like aluminum would kind of be cool, like as an upgrade, but does it really matter? I don't know. So we gotta bring this thing. We gotta bring this thing almost like back to stock, man. You gotta pop these, maybe pop these shims out. My slipper right now is pretty much locked. Like here, my slipper is pretty much all the way locked down now. I'm gonna flip you around here. So my slipper is all the way locked down. I'll pop this wheel off real quick, just so I can show you what I'm talking about with that. Pop open the case here somehow. Where's my Allen wrench? Right here. So I'll pop this off. I am going to cut, eventually I'm going to cut these posts down, or maybe use the ones that that they provided. The only thing is these ones make it so they fit the body the right way. Whoops, I should back off here. Maybe if I have it like that, you can maybe see better. So you can see I did actually do a bench burnout. See it? See all the pieces of tire? I did a bench burnout, cleaned off the tires, made them a little bit more smooth. So pop this gear case off, get you in to kind of look at that area so you can see the spring. So pretty much that's probably a good profile for the spring right there. So my spring is almost all the way compressed right now. There is, you can see there is some gap still. So I'm gonna leave the slipper where it is, because I do believe I am still allowing it to slip only maybe in a crash. Like if some strange reason this thing decides to crash, I think at least like maybe stuff won't get broken, or I don't know. So that's where I'm going to leave that. Like I said, if you have like drag questions, don't even waste your time asking me. I don't even know. I'll be like Schultz from Hogan's Heroes. If anybody knows Schultz from Hogan's Heroes, I know nothing. Yeah, like I said, I'm not afraid to say that. I do know other tuning things, but some of that tuning does not translate over to this at all. But I do want these shims gone, just because like something's wrong here. I'm not doing my hack tuning that I did to it. It's not gonna work. You can't do hack tuning to this. So I'm just gonna pop out these shims and I'll show you like what I had for shims. So I literally had like all of them. And now let's see. So this is the pack of shims I had in there. Literally a three-quarters of an inch to get it to launch straight on a clutch that was slipping. So it finally launched straight on a clutch that was slipping. And now it is launching the other way. So now that I adjusted that slipper tighter, now it's hooking to the left now. And it's driving me insane. It's too much. It's too much of things that are changing. That, like, see what I'm saying? Like the shininess. This is what I'm talking about with the shininess here. So now this whole patch of the tire is not being used because of, I'm going to call it chassis toe. You know what I mean? Look at that. And that's because of chassis toe. All right. So that's a good 3/8 of an inch of now tire patch that's not touching. So that also means that my vehicle is not sitting flat anymore. I just don't know. I gotta, now that there's no shims in there, the wheelie bar is almost on the ground. So it's obviously gonna need some shims to jack up that suspension a little bit. But I wonder what weight oil is in here. So if you watched like Earl's Watermelon, yeah, see right now there's no load. Like with that battery weight, there's literally no like, see what I'm saying? Like, do you hear that? What the hell is that noise? Oh, for the love of God. What is that noise? I might have to throw on the Crazy Cuda hat right now. If I'm going to have to get all crazy on this thing, I may have to throw the hat on. So you hear that shock? And again, believe it or not, I am still smiling. But listen, I don't know if you can hear this. You hear that? That ain't right. What the hell is that? Ah, for the love of God. All right, let's pop this shock off and see if, like, off the car, if that makes a difference. Is it gonna make a difference off the car? I don't even know. You just gotta have fun. You know what I mean? And it is. This I am still having a blast. I am literally still smiling my butt off. I'm loving this car. All right. So if you want to get to know who I am, this phone's actually getting hot. Why is this getting hot? Is this even charging? Looks like it's charging. Feels like it's getting hot. I don't even know. All right. So, like I was saying, I like that challenge, right? So now every time, and you don't get it. Every time I look at this car now, it's going to be a fight. And I'm like, I love a good fight. Like, who doesn't like a good fight? Like, all right, you go, like, let's just say some people like to watch boxing. Some people like to watch wrestling. People like to watch hockey. Why do some people like to watch hockey? It's not only just for the game. It's not for those awesome slap shots and getting goals. Sometimes it's literally for the fight, right? And I feel like this car is going to give me a good fight, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I mean, the only negative is I don't know how to fight back on this car. But I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn. And if you guys don't know how to do it either, I'm not going to be the best representation for answers, but it'll definitely be a learning series. What should I call it? Learn with me. Can I throw some Bob Ross in there somehow? I don't think I can. Happy little DR. I don't know. I have no idea. Either way, this thing is going to be point blank a blast. So let's pop off the shock here. See what the heck is going on. I don't like that sound. That doesn't have the sound of smoothness. And the bottom, I can't tell if the bottom is captured. I probably have to take off this wheel. I can't tell if the bottom shock is captured. It might be on the bottom. At least on the back here. On the front, it's not. It's integrated in with the arm. But is that captured? It is. So don't just think you can rip the shock off. It actually is captured right on there. So if you're taking this thing apart, if you've got one, don't just rip it off with your hands. Otherwise, you're going to break something. At least, that feels captured. But that shock's got like a funky sound to it. This is also where those, the ball driver things come in handy. At least I think it's captured, is it? Maybe. Yeah, I think if you did try to rip it off, if you did try to just rip it off, it looks like, you know how you can pop them off sometimes with balls in it? I definitely wouldn't do that with this bottom one here. The bottom one, top one, yes, but the bottom one, no. You definitely don't want to do that. So listen, let's see if we can hear that same noise. So everything is free with the suspension. Very free. The hub does have some play in it. And I was touching on that I kind of want, I want that, I wanted to put a shim. Where's my pointer device? I had something that I was using as a pointer, but because things are so messed up, I'm like lost. I don't even know where my coffee is here. Well, either way, I wanted to put a piece of Lexan right here because I felt that would be a small enough shim to maybe get in there without binding, just to take some of that slop off. But the other thing that I had noticed that I don't like is because this is that short course like platform, right? Is the amount of toe that this rear end has, which I don't think should be there. So when you line this up, you can see, like if I even had my straight edge, I could show you. I don't even have my straight edge, but if you were to line up right on the pin, the wheels are towed in on this front edge, and that's no good for racing. If you were to take that center line, this is at least what I'm seeing with my eyes. I believe if you are to follow from this back line all the way forward, it's almost as if somewhere up here it would come to a point, like almost like to the middle of that suspension. If I had my awesome ruler, I could show you what I'm talking about. Excuse me. All right. So if I take the straight edge and I put it along that center pin, like, I'm trying to get it to be exact. Now, see what I'm saying? See how it goes? It lines up to the very point. Now, that's obviously to keep it going straight in the dirt, or at least give it some ability. But why on a drag race vehicle? Why wouldn't you change out this back hinge pin to something that changed the toe? Like, what am I not understanding here? This back hinge brace, you should be able to change that. How about even like an adjustable one? That would be kind of cool. Why don't they make like an adjustable hinge pin with a slide that can slide in and out so you can change it to whatever you wanted? Now, I don't know how much I got to take apart to get that thing off. We already went this route. I got to take the motor off. Never mind. All right. I seem to think like, I'm going to jump into chat because there's probably people saying, dude, you're an idiot. I'm going to check real quick. I'm just going to put this up. See, look at Vector coming over here to steal stuff already. See what he does? He comes over and investigates. That's what he does. Look at him. He gets forceful. Hey, Vector. Vector, what are you doing? Oh no, the other one's coming. Hey, buddy. Hey, Vector. Hey, Vector. High five. He likes the high five. All right. There's got to be like some kind of like rear pin, something you can get. Stickies RC. Stickers. Oh, dude. Hey, Stickies. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that very much. You're going to be seeing those stickers on my channel. Thank you. Thank you, Stickies. I appreciate that. That's really that's cool of you to do that. I'm just trying to tighten up this base. The base keeps coming loose because I keep manhandling it here. But again, like, don't forget, like, see how Stickies did the little red box that makes it so that I can see, like, if somebody's talking to me? Right. So the pitch is the center of the front arms, but not for drag racing, right? Drag racing, you literally want that rear end to be straight. We're not talking dirt, right? Jerome, right? In dirt, it's different. In dirt, you do want a certain amount of toe so that you can maintain a straight line because everything's slipping. But on pavement, the less rolling resistance you get is your friend. You know what I mean? You see any kind of drag race vehicle, there's no drag race vehicle that has towed-in wheels. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the back, it's just not, Sergeant J, what's going on, guy? Super Speed Sunday? You know it, brother. What, Sergeant J, what GPS did you end up getting? I hope you didn't get the piece of crap Sky RC one. Because I guarantee you'll be calling that thing a piece of crap as well. There should be no... Right! In the rear. Right, Associated is too used to dirt. So I'm gonna have to take that pin out. Or not pin, I'm gonna have to take that brace out. I want that thing gone. Why does the rear end of my vehicle have towed wheels? That's number one. That's wrong. It's literally like I'm saying, it's like that back to basics. So here's the tire. Here's the tire that is on the driver's side. So, yeah, this is the tire that's on the driver's side. You see the difference? You do see a little bit of lightness over here, but it's not like the other wheel, because the other wheel, with the vehicle now totally listing to that left side, this tire is actually wearing in, I want to say, like, perfectly. It's funny, you can feel the from doing the burnouts, you can feel the material still on the tires. When on this tire, oh, we didn't even touch the shock. There's a weirdness with the shock. You know what? There's binding with this shock. It's stuttering. The shock is actually stuttering inside. Listen, I don't know where the microphone is on this thing. I want you to, like, hear it. Can anybody hear that? Is that air bubbles? That might be air. That might be air in my shock. Now, if I flip it upside down this way, It is. There's air in these shocks. Now, not that that should really matter, because we're getting nowhere near. We'll never get, I'm sorry that that's like an extreme close-up, but we're never going to get a compression that is going to touch into that bubble zone. Because you can see, I don't know if you can hear that. We're never going to get into that bubble zone, but there are bubbles. There's air in these shocks. I wonder if the other side's the same way. And I mean, again, too, I'm not faulting a soul. You know, maybe the quality control just, is it died again? Maybe the quality control just isn't there. I'm going to flip this camera around again just because it has a tendency to kind of mess up. So, if I flip it this way. There we go. Now at least I can see. See what he does? Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's getting mad because he's getting stuck. Look at the other one. They're going nuts over here. They are, Orion. They are fun because they can be a good distraction, and then sometimes they can be a pain in the neck distraction. So you kind of corral them off so they kind of stay away. But they definitely can be fun. Sergeant J, you're saying something. Is meant for cycling, but it has good features like an app and Bluetooth connections to change settings. That's awesome, Sergeant J. Sergeant J, would you be able to share a link to that on the Facebook group so that, like, if others are interested in maybe getting a good GPS, are you going to do like tests on the GPS to see if it's any good? Because that actually would be kind of cool if you did that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, see, he's getting mad over here because he's getting stuck. They go into these like areas where they shouldn't go. Damn, he's getting mad. See what he did over there? He put himself in that position. And he knows how to get out of there. He's just being a pill. See? He's scanning. That's him making that noise. That's his scanning noise. Dude, he's in a wicked bad mood. He's not in a bad mood. He's just having some fun. All right. There he goes. Popping a wheelie. He's trying to climb up onto that. They are fun. And look at this little guy. He's just hanging out. He's like, what are you doing? They are some fun. Look at his little beady eyes. Maybe a heavier oil in the shocks. So I don't even know what oil these shocks have. But number one, probably having air probably isn't a good idea in the first place. That just obviously means that, you know, they didn't do a good job putting it together as far as like bleeding it out, I'm assuming. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it as is for now. I'm going to pop off that other shock. I'm going to leave it as is for now. It's definitely because it has oil. I mean, it's definitely because there is air in the shock. I can definitely feel it, and I'm not getting anywhere. So, like, literally, I'd almost have to be at, well, that's almost a 1/2 inch compression. So that's how much unsprung we have. Like, so it automatically needs like a massive shim just to compensate for that zero amount like that. So right away it needs that massive shim in there just because of those springs that they've got in there. So I think I'm gonna go back to factory. I'm gonna pop off this wheel too, though. And you know what I should do? Are these shocks the same? Are these the same front and rear? I think the shocks are the same front and rear. And this shock, is that oil? And this shock's bleeding. So my front shock is actually bleeding already. And both front shocks are bleeding. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Both front shocks are bleeding. Oh, we're gonna take off these shocks now. I can't have shocks bleeding. We got bloody shocks. So like I've crashed this. I haven't crashed it. Quality control, man. Quality control is not. The quality control is not good. Yeah, I think we definitely got a quality control issue here. They must have been. You know what? I know what it was. This was when they were suffering the coronavirus over there, right? These things were probably being built while they were in the thick of coronavirus. That could play a part in the why these things aren't doing very well. You ever think of that? That could be it. So it got bloody front shocks. The back shocks aren't bleeding. The black shocks. The back shocks are actually fine, other than having air in them. It's like half an inch of air, maybe almost 3/4. But I'm gonna grab my paint pen and I'm gonna mark these shocks because I have a feeling these are the same. Yeah, these shocks look like they're the same front to back. So I'm going to paint pen these so that I know. That's what's good about having the old paint pen. You take a pen. What, are you lost? Who's dying here? Oh, you are. Your thing is over there. All right, so I'm going to take a paint pen and at least mark out that this is a rear. It's going to be RP for rear passenger. That's just the way I do it. So it's going to be RP for this one. So I'm actually going to write on it RP. If I can. Let's see if I can actually write that small. RP. So there we go. So this is going to be RP for rear passenger. Just because these shocks are the same, and I want to keep them in the position that they are. I don't know. I just want to put this thing back together like the way they had it. So I'm gonna pop off. I'm not gonna pop off the front. I'm gonna pop off one of these backs here. See what's going on with this other shock. See if this one. I'll take those fronts off, but I just want to pop this one off to see if we've got air in this shock as well. Again, ready to run. Keep that in mind. Ready to run, not ready to race. This is where that, like I said, this is where that ball driver thing would probably come in really handy right now. But having those front shocks bleeding, that's not cool. They're bleeding out. The front shocks are bleeding out. That's no good. This front wheel spins mint, though. I will say that. Check that out. God, that front wheel spins. At least that front tire is true. It's my passenger side tire that's hammered. Look at that thing. I don't know if you probably can't even see that. It doesn't look as bad on. It doesn't look as bad on TV, but this one's mint. So let's just pop this one off. See, there's air in this one too. Did they take the bolt? Did they walk away with the bolt? My shock bolt's gone. One of those little maggots took it. Didn't they? You little maggot. What'd you do with it? Yeah, it's gone. One of them took it. See what I mean? Causing trouble. I'm literally now missing one of my bolts. Yeah. I don't see anything on the floor. Where'd it go? Little maggot. All right. So let's just slide this one off. We'll see if this one has anything. Your charge is right there. Go on it. All right. So this is the driver's side rear. So let's hear if this one has anything. Yeah. Same thing. Actually, this one's worse. This one actually has a lot more air in it. This one's, that compression's almost like an inch of air. So, but it's not bleeding though. So that's kind of a bummer. And here's the other thing too with this one. This is weird. Now, wait a minute. I'm gonna pop this shim out. This is the passenger side rear, or RP, rear passenger, right? Here's the shock, fully extended. See the gap right there? See the gap? Now here's this shock, fully extended. Look at the gap on this one. What the hell's going on here? What am I missing here? Are these like, these are literally the same, right? Yeah, they're exactly the same. So one spring is already like, that seems like a pretty good gap compared to this one. See what I mean? See the difference in gap? That seems pretty massive to me. So there's potential a tuning issue right there, because a drag car is obviously way more sensitive on tuning than something that's off-road. Almost seems like my springs are not the same height. I don't know. Yeah, but Gus, could it really have that memory that fast? Because That does kind of, yeah. But why would the spring have memory that like that? That's terrible. That's no good. All right, well, let's take my bleeding shocks off. Let's see where this is bleeding from, whether if it's bleeding from the top or I think it's bleeding from the bottom. That screw's just twisted. All right, so now I'm just going to flip it over. Get to the other side here. Now, I haven't touched these front shocks, so other than them bleeding, I haven't changed like shims or anything like that, so let's see what happens. Jesus, these screws are massive. Look at that. Look how long that screw is. It almost goes all the way to the other side of the arm. I gotta get a chair here. This should be part of the tuning episode of RC Guy Garage. Hey, Sergeant J, did you get a chance to see my custom shirt idea that I'm coming up with? It obviously has nothing to do with. It just has to do with. Where is it? Right there. There's no R in wheelie bar. Dude, I haven't picked up a pencil in I don't know how long. So the wheelie bar, the wheel, the goat head, and the bar is all pencil drawn. And I know it doesn't look perfect, but it still looks all right, though. But I was thinking, I already know where that's going. But there you go. There's your shirt. There's your shirt option. I think it's pretty good. All right, so where are we here? Let's pop this shock out of here. So this is the bleeding shock from the left side of the car. And it actually looks like it's bleeding from the cap. Because the oil's all over the place. The oil is literally all over. Look at this. The oil's all over this thing. So I'm going to mark that other shock too. So I'm going to do this as RD or driver rear. I'll do DR for this one. Yay, DR. I'll do DR for this one. So D R. There we go. So that will be for driver side rear for this one. And then obviously we've got passenger side rear for that one. And that way at least things are like kept, you know, knowing where it comes off of. If that makes any sense. And then this one, because this one's bleeding, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to write on there. So this has a pretty good shim on it already. And I do believe it's bleeding from the, it does seem like it's bleeding from the cap, not the base. If it was bleeding from the base, that would be terrible. That would mean those seals are junk. But this is definitely bleeding a good amount of fluid out of there. This will also give us a good gauge to see if these front springs are the same. So obviously there's already sand and grit getting in here, because I did have one of my launches this morning. It launched onto the lawn. Totally where I didn't want it to go, but that was all right. It was, again, just that learning. But this is all sand and stuff stuck in here, so we got to get that out of here. Clean off the spring here. So that should be all right. But at least this will also be a good thing to see both springs left and right, see if there's an issue. But the shock is just full of fluid just leaking out of it. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't touched these front shocks. So let's see if that's leaking from that top. Oh, it's tight. That top is actually tight. Yeah? Okay. She doesn't realize that he's here for her, because today's Mother's Day. She forgetting? I think she's forgetting. So this shock is bleeding, and it's tight. That's not moving. So why is this shock bleeding? That's not cool. The cap is totally tight. There's no vent hole in here. So it's not like one of those vented, you know how some shock caps are vented? There's no vent hole here, so it's not like it's bleeding out of some vent hole or anything. So did maybe they forget to put the seal? I wonder if they forgot to put like a gasket on this, because it's definitely coming from, you could see it. It's definitely coming from the crack here. Right there. It's definitely coming from right there. You can see it's a little wet right there. The bottom is tight. There's definitely no fluid down there. I just caught that, toy grade. Yeah, it is what it is, guy. I'm still having a blast. I'm still smiling. So look at Vector over there. He's trying to get that tire. I'm starting to wonder now, did Earl actually get a better car than me? Because while his battery, while his body definitely was like from Mako, my body's pretty mint. His body is a Mako body, but my shocks are already bleeding in the front. That's not good. I bet his shocks aren't bleeding. That's not cool. What the hell? Associated. Guy, what's going on with you guys? Quality Control Associated. Come on. You guys were supposed to be known for good quality stuff. Just because your coronavirus employees were sick, should have just let them stay home and not mess things up. So there's oil all over this arm. So this suspension arm, I just wiped all the oil off of it. The other one's not bleeding as much. At least on the suspension arm, the other one's not bleeding as much as this one was. But I bet if I look at this underside, I bet there's tons of oil in there. Because obviously what it did is it bled right down into this area. You could still see residual oil actually in there. I'm gonna go say hi to my son just for a quick second. Actually, you know what I could do? I could take you guys. I just don't know if my wife would be happy to be on camera. Sometimes these girls they get weirded out by things. I don't want to be on camera. Why? There's nothing wrong. All right, where's my little tripod here? We'll take you upstairs. You can see the family. Like I said, we'll take you upstairs. You can see the family. Say hello to everybody. Ooh, what's that?
You found that one.
I can put it on like the DJ's card or whatever. I could just buy it there.
So that looks like a.
They'll probably have to.
It looks like a Mother's Day present right there.
I'm assuming, but I'll.
You're on live.
See, that's why I wasn't answering.
Oh.
They're standing down here and nobody even said anything. They're down here wondering where everybody is.
You read my message.
But I told you
I
that
know,
doesn't
but
mean anything.
I didn't want to tell her anything. I just wanted to let.
Yeah, but I'm upstairs blow drying my hair,
I'm
doing
sorry.
stuff. I didn't hear a word. And I come down.
Oh, I wrecked everything because I wanted to be quiet.
You didn't answer me.
I'm sorry.
You said
There's so the two of them are going, hello.
So yeah,
See what-
I was just up here like.
See what's that right there?
Hello?
What's that saying? DP, diesel power. He doesn't even drive a diesel, but his truck is awesome still. So, anyways, I'm gonna go back downstairs.
Yeah, he's
I just
not
want to say
even-
hello.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh, okay.
What?
The other world is better than us.
That's not what it is. Jeez, look at that. The other world is better than family.
Yep.
Of course it is. Come on, you guys know, right? All right. Are you here for long, or are you just here to kind of just hi bye, or?
Just hang up for a little bit.
Okay.
The thing is that they have to hang out
I
outside
know,
still.
and it's crap.
And
yeah.
it's cold.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if
Nah, I know.
if you're doing
Look at this. See,
your
this is
thing.
what's garbage.
Yeah, I know.
We have to like stand 10 feet away from our own family.
Unless we were already exposed previously. We haven't been.
You have people saying Happy Mom's Day.
Happy Mom's Day. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Sergeant J, Chuck G is saying Happy Mother's Day.
This is just.
What? These are all
Even
the
when
these
we
are
go
all the
camping,
guys.
That's
These
what
are all
he's
the guys.
That's all he's.
If the GPS works, okay,
One
yeah,
time
good
I
idea.
tried to take a picture of the canopy when we were walking, and he kept talking. And all I had was him in the background. I kept saying, "Could you be quiet for just 2 seconds?"
'Cause I was-
I can capture the birds singing. He goes, "Sure." And all of a sudden,
You know what though? It actually turned into a good video though because it just like the banter back and forth. You know what I mean? Like I turned it into a fun video. You probably haven't seen it, but you should check it out. It was pretty funny. It was just camping. It was a walk through the woods. It was kind of cool. Yeah, a walk through the woods. Anyways. You don't like being on camera?
No, I don't like it it either.
I don't know why. What's wrong with these girls? They're like, they don't like to be on camera. I don't
I'm
get
not.
it.
I
They're shy or
it
something.
Well,
has-
you're used to it.
Yeah.
You even said for the longest time it was weird.
Well, yeah, it was weird because
Yeah.
when
it is
you
weird.
talk to a device, but what I realize is that you have to just realize that when you're talking to the device,
You're
you're
really
talking to,
Yeah,
you're
actually
literally talking to people on the other
And
side.
then
So,
when I realized
like right
that,
now.
that's even
well, right
worse.
now it's
That's
live.
It's even worse. Yeah, because all the
And then she's like,
It's
make
even
sure the
worse.
camera's high.
Yeah.
Make sure it's high
No.
because you don't want those low down shots.
No.
You gotta make sure that it's high when you take a picture.
No, because that's when everybody starts being critical.
So she likes the higher shots like that. Make sure they look like a midget though.
Look, it's so beautiful.
Well, you are pretty. So are you. Look at you hide. You hide behind that. I'm not coughing at you.
I wish it wasn't
So-
so cold. It's worse today.
Yeah,
than
it's
it was.
bad.
And yesterday,
Yesterday-
see, they're in the front. See?
Right.
Oh,
Well,
oh.
yesterday it actually snowed. Yeah, the puppies are actually
Did
outside.
it snow here too?
Yeah.
I know it did.
What are you doing? What, you all happy? Huh? What? You're outside? She's caught. Gotta shut this because she's not gonna understand. She'll be like, what?
Oh, it's so sad.
I know, she does get sad. She's like, wait, why are you ignoring me? She's so confused right now. She's like, why'd you just shut the door on me? You've never shut the door on me before. She can still see us. I know I'm breaking that 6-foot rule, but I'm okay. Let me in, I know. There she goes. There she goes. What's up, kid? What's up, kid? 2 kids. All right, well, I'm gonna head back downstairs. You guys kind of probably off, right?
Yeah. I mean, Emma's gotta do some stuff anyways.
Yeah, I know. The social
But I
distance
did
stuff
want
is
to
definitely
say-
messed up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but now it's kind of even more important for me too because
'Cause you're at work
I'm
now.
At work now, yeah.
Yeah. So now he's a Ford mechanic. So how have things changed at work for you? Is there any change?
Not really for the mechanics. They could care less about us.
Oh, isn't that? Gotta be careful. Ford's listening.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Unless
So
they
for the
want.
mechanics, apparently it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so they gave us masks that we have to wear when we head into the service area or through the showroom or anything like that. In the shop, you know, we don't have to because we're just kind of in our own corner working on our own stuff.
Right.
But they put like these seat covers on. It's just it's basically like
Seat covers in cars. What about steering wheel covers?
no, they don't want to do that.
Okay. Do you guys do the floor mats, like the paper floor mats?
They've been putting those in now, but
Okay.
if anything, they should have been doing that in the first place.
They should have, yeah.
That does nothing for us right now, but it's something
Right.
that they should have been doing.
No,
originally.
exactly. They definitely should have been doing the
the
paper floor
seat
mats.
the seat covers are a joke. They're thinner than saran wrap, and they don't stick to the seats.
Yeah.
So they're like
You
pointless.
hungry at all? We ordered those artesian pizzas from the artesian bread place,
Isn't she pretty?
and they were huge.
I think so.
Huge. I mean, even thick, huge. Do you want them heated or just cold?
Maybe it's cold just to maybe
There's a
take a
pepperoni.
few.
Yeah, there's a pepperoni and a pepper and onion.
Ooh,
Pepper and onion.
The pepper and onion is actually awesome. I had that. She's
But
like,
yeah,
I don't want to be on camera.
we could bring a couple because we had
Isn't she pretty?
breakfast before.
That's my
course
son.
she
That's
is.
my son's girl.
Of course she is.
You know what? I'm just gonna give this whole thing to
Oh
you.
my god! You
I'll just
sure?
give this whole thing to you.
Oh my god!
Well, I have more in the
That's
I'll
like
just-
the whole
No,
pizza.
it's not. I put the other in the freezer, so I'll take
Yeah.
the freezer ones out.
Okay.
And then that way they're all together. And
Now check out. This is pizza. That is pizza from a new artesian place. That actually
is this?
it's called Hearth and some Artesian Hearth or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Artesian hearth.
Oh wow!
bread.
You
So-
you did
so-
have
yeah,
you did
no,
have a couple, huh?
Yeah. There were only 2, and they were only $14 in one size.
Yeah, they
the
were.
other option was mushroom, and you can also have it not cooked all the way. So you can just have it par cooked and take it home. It's 5 minutes, and then if it's cooked all the way, it's 15 minutes.
Yep.
And then I went and got Let me show you what I got.
Those people are not wearing masks.
They're walking
Look at
outside.
them. Look at the offenders. Where
They're
are they?
outside.
Where are they? Where are they? They're offenders. They're not wearing masks. Get away, offenders. So.
Sourdough bread.
Oh wow.
Mikey dough. Mikey bread. I know. I know. Well, you know I make it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a hit or miss when you go.
She's making it.
And
Monkey bread.
These cookies are out of this world.
What kind of cookies are they?
Those cookies are crazy.
What are they?
They're a mango cookie.
Because it's
Mango.
no
Yeah.
apricot.
Apricot.
I was good.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. That makes
I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just a fruit. It's all the same.
Do you like apricot?
Awesome. Thank you.
These are I can only eat a half of one at a time. But
They're wicked good.
you go there, they don't always have them. And one time I went, they
That's
said they'll be
What do you
ready in
guys
2
think?
hours. I went back.
Are those cookies awesome?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Right. Family time at RC Guy Garage.
So, where is it?
COVID, coffee, and family.
You know where Coles is, and that industrial road park that kind of like parallels it. So in other
Yep.
words, if you at the lights where the skating rink is, and you take that right.
All right. I'm just gonna head
Follow it all
We
the way
downstairs.
just keep going down.
Keep
Let me
going
know-
back, it's on-
Let me know when you're taking off.
Okay.
Just yell down.
Okay.
It's on the right-hand side, and
Family time at RC Car Garage. Hey, you get a look into my real life that I actually have a real life. All right. So we are back again. We've got bloody shocks. Obviously, just know that I am going to be. I am going to take off just for a few minutes. Yeah. Oh wow. Check that out. Check out this shock. Watch this shock just literally collapse. Gets right to the air, and it literally. Yeah, that just like it's. Look at that. This has got no shock oil in it. Right there. So this is garbage. So something's going on. Something's going on with that top seal right there. I don't think there's any seal in there whatsoever. The shock oil is definitely bleeding from there. At least the shock shaft is straight. Yeah, that actually collapses. That's crap. Look at that. That's terrible. So right there, inside, so here's the shock at its fully extended position, right? And I will stop it once it gets down to where it touches fluid. Right there. So right there, I felt some type of fluid tension. So in between here and there, that's how much shock oil this thing has lost. Right there. That's a good amount. No wonder why this thing is just not working right. So my front shocks are bleeding. I'm gonna write on this one. Which side is this one? So this one is passenger side front. So I'm gonna write on this one. I'll do FP for this one. See, FP. So I'll do FP for this one. That way at least I know where this one came from. And then on this side, I just got to take off. I'm going to take off just that screw there. 100-mile screw. I let my son right now hang out with mom because he always sees dad. So like he comes over and we'll do stuff in the driveway. And past couple of times that he's come over, the days that he came over wasn't like the best day, and it kind of stinks not having him in the house. That's where I feel bad. So this one doesn't look like is leaking as much, but this one also is. You can see how this one is also wet. So this front shock is also leaking. Just probably not as bad as the other one. And there really should be no reason for this to leak, in my opinion. So I'm going to pull off that little shim. You can see look how wet it is. See how shiny and wet that is? Again, am I happy that this thing is... Check. Am I seeing this right? I feel like I'm seeing this right. Let's show you something. Can you guys see? Can you guys see the black right here? See the discoloration? Right there? See that discoloration? That's oil. So that means when this thing has been driving, it has been spitting oil onto the chassis and it's been traveling. So that's an indicator right there. Just on the plastic itself. You can see one shock was obviously pissing more than the other. But yeah, look at that. Look at how wet that is. See how glistening wet that is? So I'm going to pop this one off. Clean all the sand out of it. To take the spring off of this one, I'm going to keep this one over here on this side to keep it separate from the other one. That way I can compare the spring heights. Oh. Yeah, the oil's been blowing out all over. Exactly. That's no good, man. She's a spitter. Yeah. Time for adjustable ones. Yeah. I want to see why is it leaking though? You know what I'm saying? Like, did they literally forget on my front shocks to put seals in? Because the other side is totally cranked down and tight. So that should not leak unless there's no seal. So I don't even know if this is a bladder style. Like, is this going to have a bladder cap on the top of it or what? Or is it just going to be like a seal? Like not an O-ring, but I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm going to see here. So the bottom actually is slightly loose, but I don't really think that matters. And then this top is cranked. The top is tight. So there must be no seal. That's got to be why this is leaking like that. So here's the shock fully extended. And I'll droop this on. I'll let it sit like this just for a couple seconds. But we'll see where is the... Yeah, so this one obviously was not... So I'm going to I'll drop it down to right to when it hits the fluid. Am I even in frame? Yeah. So right there. So that one hits fluid. What's that, like 1/4 inch? Maybe 3/8. So that's hitting fluid right there. This one, that's where that one's hitting fluid. So that would be, in my opinion, that would be very significant just based on fluid. So we got to add fluid to these things. That's junk. But we also have to see, like, what's the deal? Why is there why are these caps bleeding? You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Well, that is where I'm going to end this live. Coffee and COVID. COVID and coffee. So today on RC Guy Garage, what we did is we saw that we got some issues, tuning issues. We definitely do have quality control issues. And am I still on board with the fact of would I lay down my money again to get another DR10, knowing what I know? Yeah, I'm not a wine bag. I'm really not. It was, you're still getting the value. You're just getting like, you're getting some like oddity in quality control. And I am going to give, even though this is not Associated USA like it used to be, this is obviously Associated China. I am assuming that these things were like built and or assembled right around when that coronavirus was beating the crap out of them. And I'm only guessing. And I'm not going to get into the politics of looking into it. I'm just going to leave it at that guess. And like I said, would I drop the cash? Yeah, I would. I don't care. This is shock oil. It does kind of suck that, you know, if it does need some type of an O-ring or some type of a gasket or seal at the top of that, do I have to source that? Yeah. I got to figure out something. I don't know why. I don't know why it's leaking. So I still feel its bones are its bones. You know what I mean? Still feel like it has good bones. It has potential. I've also got nothing to gauge it to. So I don't have a slash. I've never converted like something I've never converted something that was purpose built. And even this, you're still finding that, granted, this is only my opinion. Come on, guys. That little hinge pin in the back there, that brace, the pin bracket, whatever the hell you want to call it. That should be different. That should be made so that rear end is not towed. That rear end should not be in any tow situation. Because I don't know who's going to take this vehicle, buy it, and throw off-road wheels on it and go off-roading. You know what I mean? Like, that seems kind of lame. Right while this is off, typical hub pin slop, which is typical. If you wanted to get really nuts, you could take that out of it. The back A-arms. The back A-arms into those hinge pins feel good. Hubs, typical slop in the hubs. I might want to just take that out just because I want to get, I think it's going to sound gross. I want to get anal with this car. Like I want to get detailed into it. I want to shim things that should be shimmed. I want to change that rear pin brace. I don't even know if I can change that brace. You know what I mean? The pin retainer on the back there, because I need to take that. I need to take that toe out. I don't like the toe in this. A drag race vehicle should not have toe in the rear end whatsoever. So like I always say, I'm just going to jump into the chat real quick. Wrapping up, are you? Yes, I am. Yep. The what? The O-ring? Right, the O-ring must be out. Right. James Beeman, you're probably right, man. I'm just gonna clean up. I'm gonna clean up these springs. I'm gonna do just like a separate video. I want to jump upstairs and I want to hang out like with the family. He's here for mom, but any chance that I get to ever see my son and his girlfriend, which hopefully not for long. I keep messing with them because I want to see it, man. 2 weeks. This is what's nuts. 2 weeks into me meeting her and knowing how my son is and seeing what type of person she was, I sent him a text message and I said to him, she's the one. Like, and they've been together for quite a while now. So I know that he's going to propose to her. She's the one, man. I could tell 2 weeks into them being together. Come on. Dad knows. There's certain things that dad knows. You know what I mean? When you're a dad, sometimes there's certain things that just dad knows. I don't know how it is, but it's also like that certain strength that dads have. That you could have a guy, well, granted, yeah, if he's a musclehead, it might be different, but there is something called dad strength. So when it comes to your kids, there's a certain amount of dad strength that you get. So anyways, I'm just going to end this COVID and Coffee episode. Episode 26. So COVID and Coffee, episode 26, morning check-in, DR10. This is going to be the new series. It's going to be called like, I know this says Tune Issues, but I actually came up with a series name for it. So keep on the lookout for the DR10 tuning series something. Pretty sure what I'm going to call it is Tune Time with the DR10. So, yeah. So I'm just going to end this where it is. He's actually saying goodbye. So this is my son right there and his girl. Yeah. A beautiful couple. I'm telling you. When you see the both of them, like
I sure am a pretty man.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
you're my son. You're good looking kid. But I was just telling them that 2 weeks into him being with you, I told him, I was like, she's the one. I know it. And they are. Like, literally, they are one. So, all right, I'm out. Everybody, thank you for coming to this live stream. Don't forget, more videos coming. I'm actually going to wrap up a video as soon as they leave upstairs. I'm going to dive in and make a video about the continuation on the front shocks to see if like they're missing parts, because that shouldn't be happening. So I'm out. Everybody, just get out there and rip it, like I always say. And I'm going to turn this around. I can say goodbye. Big Papa Paul, thank you, man. Now, don't forget, like, if you guys don't know, today's Mother's Day, so do something about it. Still do the social distance thing. Protect your parents if they're older, you know. You can, I don't know, like, just, like, run over to their house and, like, put flowers in the door and then run away and do the, there you go, what's that called? Doorbell ditch or whatever it was? Ding dong ditch it used to call when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there used to be something called ding dong ditch. So that's what you could do. Go buy your mother some flowers, throw them in the door, and ding dong ditch, and stand like in the street. And COVID. All right, guys, I'm out. Just get out there, like I always say, get out there and rip it. We're gonna figure out some shirts and merch and all that good stuff. We are. Hey, you laugh. Look at the laugh and snickering at me. Oh, merch. Oh. All right, guys. We'll